What's up, everybody? My name's Terry. I've lived in the trenches all my life, from selling singles at the age of 18, slinging vapes before they were even cool. I've watched every successful business I've ever built eventually crash and burn. Here's the thing, though. Crypto isn't for suits. It's for survivors like me that've actually turned hopes and dreams and sheer determination into rocket fuel. I was born an entrepreneur. This video is going to be about some of the ways I've made money through my life. Um, as usual, none of this financial advice. Don't do anything I did. This is not meant to be glorified. This is to go ahead and teach you so you learn from my lessons and just kind of maybe learn a little bit more about me, and hopefully, in turn, you'll go ahead and drop some info, and I can learn a little bit more about you all too. So, see, I guess it's start back at the beginning. I pretty much raised myself for the most part. My mom loved me and all, mind you. Like, I came from a loving family and everything, but my mom drank a lot, and she, usually she got off work, she went to the bar. So like, if she didn't give me a ride to school, I walked my happy ass to school. I don't know if I can say that. I'm trying to like stay in YouTube's good graces here, so I'm gonna make a lot of innuendos in this one, especially, because we don't want like demonetization or them getting mad at me or whatever. Anyway. So anyway, I raised myself for the most part. She worked, you know, she took care of bills. She made sure there was food in the house and stuff like that. Like, she might not always cook, but there was food in the house. Um, so yeah, no, I pretty much raised myself. I was kind of a troublemaker. No other way to put it. Like, I started drinking and smoking at like age of 12 or something horrible like that. Like, yeah, I was a troublemaker. I got in a lot of trouble. Nothing nothing you ever really want to do. I was in and out of in the court system a lot. I was very lucky. I really still to this day don't know why, because like my friends like would do some stuff that'd be a lot less than what I did, and they'd end up in like like detention facilities, like a kiddie prison. But like, I don't know, I was looked over. Someone was looking over at me. Like, I've always been lucky. I've always lucked out on a lot of things, which is I'm super grateful for. Maybe it's just like the universe bringing stuff back to me, because I've always tried to do the right thing for the most part. I mean, I did kind of have, like I said, I was a hooligan. I caused some trouble for a while. Um, a lot of trouble for fighting, stealing, drinking. Um, Hell, I drank in like court. Like, I mean, I was ballsy. I've never really had that fear thing too much. So like, I always like, I don't know, like, you couldn't put nothing past me. Couldn't put nothing past me at all. Um, I got in trouble a lot anyway. So I spent like age like 12, 13 until the age of 18 on probation. I think I was off probation during that time, maybe 6 months combined. Like, I was probation with probation violation with probation violation, and I kept on, getting in trouble until I was 17. No, I was 16. I was 16, and I got arrested for manufacture and distribution of controlled substance. Let's put it that way. Um, Definitely something you don't want to get in trouble for. However, for some reason, I got like stupid lucky, just like I always did. I ended up getting extensive probation, which, if you don't know, extensive probation was like 6 months house arrest, and then 3 months, like being on probation, like of like being on normal probation, but not only being able to leave like during certain hours. You had basically like a curfew, and then eventually like 3 months of just normal probation. So when I got in trouble for that, I got off super lucky. It was kind of weird because at the same time, I got off on that too. I didn't get in trouble for that. At the same time, the guy that narked on me, like, I knew who he was because he got stuff off me, and I found out he was in jail. And my one friend Kentucky Chuck was also in jail. So we uh we made his stay unpleasant, we'll say. I was outside of the, like, there's like the jail, and then they have like an outside thing with like a cage, like you can't see out it. Like, it's just like a normal fence cage type thing, but they had like lattice through it so you can't see out it. Um, and I was walking by, my friend Kentucky Chuck was out there, and as friends do, um, he wanted to smoke, so I threw a couple in, and well, we got caught. And when it got caught, I used to have this bastard dagger that I carried on me. It was like a Black Widow handle, and the wavy blade or whatever. I got caught with that. Like, they took it from me, but like they never pressed charges or anything. It was kind of weird because, like, I mean, literally, I was just helping smuggle shit into a jail. But yeah, no, I've always been really lucky. Nonetheless, I go through all this stuff, through this year of intensive probation, and it was probably the most straight I've been in a while because, like, I stopped smoking, I stopped like doing anything. Like, I'm on this thing, and I'm like, okay, I got manufacturer distribution. Like, they're gonna pop me. I'm gonna have like a piss test like every week. Um, I go through the whole thing, and I never got tested. I would go to my probation meetings drunk, like really, like, why, like, I don't know why I didn't get in trouble. I don't get it. Only thing I can think of is like my probation officer was sleeping with my mom. That's the only logical excuse I can get out of it. So I go in there, and I'm just getting off probation, mind you. So I'm 17, gonna be 18 in a couple months. And my probation officer, Dave, he's like, gets my file out the cabinet. He pulls out this folder that's literally like this thick. And he's like, you know what? He's like, I can't save you no more, Terry. Like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, I can't save you no more. Like, you are going to prison. Like, after this, you're going to prison. Like, I can't save you. And from then on, I kind of like really straightened my life up. Like, it was kind of a wake up call. Like, I realized how lucky I was after like kind of looking back, reflecting on things, be like, why are all my friends in detention facilities and shit? But like, I just got lucky. I really changed things around a lot then. Like, it taught me to like be a little bit smarter with things. Quit being so reckless. Quit being so careless. Just like with crypto, like you probably starting out, you get that high and you get that like excitement, and you're just like you're making stupid moves and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that taught me to go ahead and like really think through things. Like, don't go ahead and just do your impulse. Just don't go ahead and jump to whatever you feel at the moment, because that's what messes you up. That's what messes you up is those like, it's good to be spontaneous, but in a good way. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff will mess you up. Being that kind of spontaneous, not doing due diligence, not doing your research, not taking precautions. You know what I mean? So anyway, I sign off. He goes and gives me this thing. I sign off on it, and I hadn't gotten in trouble since. I had an insufficient funds check. Oh shit, that was a funny story too. Okay, so I had an insufficient funds check once when I was probably like 30ish or so, and at the time I was selling Sid, if you know him, and I had like, I think 15 on me because I left from where I was working actually, and I had like 15 on me, and I went and stopped by a place where my wife at the time worked, and I got food, because I got free food there, so of course I'm gonna go there. And I'm speeding to get my ass back to work because I'm late, and I got pulled over, and it was for an insufficient funds check, because like back then I was poor, didn't got no money. I mean, I grew up in low income housing, like the whole time I've always lived in low income housing for a long time, until like probably shit 2000s or so. You know what I mean? Like, until I started working for myself, I guess. But yeah, so I'm driving, and I got 10 in my wallet and five. No, I got five in my wallet and 10 in a CD case. I throw the CD case down on the floor, and cop comes up. And he's like, license, registration, blah blah blah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, I'm like, hurry up, I need to get back to work. The cop comes back to the car, and he's like, I'm gonna need you to pull your car up over here. You got a warrant out for your arrest. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, this is not good. So like, cop is walking beside the car for me to go ahead and pull over like off a side street, and I get out and they cuff me. So put me in the cop car. They bring me down to the police station. Mind you, these weren't the normal cops. They were cops from a different thing. So when they were bringing me down there, this like wasn't their jurisdiction. Like, I was in their jurisdiction at the time, but the police station wasn't. So they bring me down there, and they go through all the stuff. I got fingerprinted, all the normal bullshit. Like, happened 100 times. No big deal. It was like, my stuff's already in their system, dude. Like, and I'm doing my mug shot, doing fingerprinting, and cops like, do you have $100 on you to pay your bail? And ironically, someone paid me before they got their stuff, and I had $100 from that on me. So I go out, and I had those 5 in my wallet, and the cop is like digging through my wallet, like taking things out, running his fingers, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's done, it's done. There is no more. This is it. It's done. You know what I mean? This is my going to jail, prison type of thing. Like, but luckily, never found it. Like, never felt it. I guess I don't know. Thank you for having a horrible feeling in your fingers or whatever the problem is, but never found it, and gave me my wallet back and everything. I took $100 out, and I paid my release. You know, I paid my bail, signed some papers and stuff, and the cops were still there, and they actually gave me a ride back to my car. So they gave me a ride back to my car. I go back to work, and I finish doing my thing, you know, and yeah, I went and turned around and paid the check off. You know, did the right thing because I was juggling checks at the time. You know, because I was trying to pay bills and stuff. Apparently, I didn't juggle too well, and so I went and talked to the company. I think it's stuck in my foot. I go out and talk to the company that I owe money to, that the check bounced at, and I paid them their money and everything. They dropped charges. Like, I never got charged for anything. I mean, I got charged. Like, to this day, if I try to go across, borders to another country, they will bring me that up. Like, and I didn't understand what it was, because they're always like, have you ever been arrested before? And I was like, no, I haven't. Like my all this junk that I did when I was a kid, like, it got expunged. It's another one of those I don't know how type of things. Like, it just did. It's gone. I've had people that work for the city and lawyers and etc. I've had them check, and for whatever reason, it's gone. Zero complaints. So I have pretty much clean record, except for this one time of this insufficient fund check that they bring up, even though I wasn't arrested. I mean, I was arrested. I guess this is why they bring it up. I was arrested, but I wasn't charged. So, like, they would always bring me in whenever I try to go ahead and cross a border. They bring me in and, like, go through all this stuff, and I wait there forever and have to sign papers or whatever. But yeah, apparently it was that. So yeah, no, I pretty much the last, ever since I was a kid, I been trouble free. I try to, not get in trouble at all. Period. Basically, I don't like cops. I have a horrible problem with authority. I don't like going to court. Like, yeah, I really don't want to deal with them if I don't have to. So as a kid, for doing the whole manufacturing distribution thing, like later on, things became medical. So like we were a medical state. So I signed up, and I had like 5 patients or so under me, and yeah, I went and I grew for a while. Like I grew plants and sold them, and I also blasted them, if you know what I'm talking about. Um, I did that for like 4 or 5 years. I had like 72 plants kicking at all times. That's actually it was in this house. I bought this house. I lived here for, I want to say, 2 or 3 months, and I was getting the kitchen redone, and I bought a better house out in the country, like a bigger house, like a nice house. And I kind of just like left this one here, so I'm like, oh, I got another house, I might as well, grow in it. So yeah, I did all that for a while. Did the medical thing, and try to help people. Um, I go ahead and make different things like Ricky Simpson's oils, and give it to people that were in need, that had issues that that it supposedly helps. I still, like, even like a week ago, I have one of my patients that I was giving stuff to, that came out good. Like, everything went away. They went and brought me like a pie and like a loaf of bread and stuff. They still deliver me shit, which is kind of cool. I like it. It's nice. Um, I tried to help as many people as I could. Like, I just straight out of my pocket. Like, I'd charge them like cost at most. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just trying to help people. I didn't need the money. It was a work of passion type of thing. It was something I was interested in. Um, let's see. So I don't know. I did that for a long time. I've done multiple businesses, like lots of businesses. A lot of them were affiliate marketing when I was first starting out. I did a lot of affiliate marketing, selling other people's goods. Since I'm fairly tech savvy, I would have ways to, like, we'll just go ahead and we'll take the like the vape industry for instance. When I started out doing that, I was doing reviews and everything, and I would go like say if I was promoting X, Y, and Z, product, I would write a review about X, and like I'd title it like X, are they a scam? Should you trust them? Type of thing. And then I was good at working the Google algorithms in my favor, so I would rate my reviews. I get them rated above their actual website. So if you search for like company X, you're gonna come up with my review of company X first, and it's gonna have that title. Hey, are they a scam? Do they actually work? Type of thing. You're gonna click on it, and when you clicked on that, I will go ahead and essentially I would load that company and then all the competitors in the background. So you don't know it, but as soon as you clicked on that site, no matter who you went and bought from, I made money off you. That's basically how I did things. So I did a lot of affiliate marketing type stuff. I mean, I've done things as far as like even back in the day. Oh man, I can't remember the name, but it was before like Netflix or anything, and it was this project that essentially did satellite TV, but it was like global. Like you just go through and like click the channels, and you can watch like global TV on like your computer, and it was like all the hype. And it was one of my biggest mess ups. Like I did some good affiliate marketing. Like I specialized in making really good websites, doing reviews, and doing things like press releases. And for that one there, I went and I worked on this press release. I used to hang out in this copywriters board. It was actually called the copywriters board, and I can't remember the name of the head guy. He was like one of the biggest copywriters in the world, at least at the time. Of print, not of internet so much. But like I'd hang out in there and I'd talk with him and stuff, and everybody would share our copy that we made, and I went and put this one out about that product. I did a press release, and I did it like a huge distribution to like 450 papers or something like that, and I got this thing put like publicized everywhere, okay, about how essentially this service will replace your TV type of thing. You know what I mean? You gotta make it hype, just like anything. So I marketed the hell of it. I go ahead and I get this thing and I promote it, and next thing you know, like 450 uh, newspapers or whatever, are picking this up, and it's all over online. And I messed up the link. Like I straight had a spelling error in the link, and by the time I changed the landing page to that link, by the time I noticed, like I might have made $1,000 off it, and in all reality, like that would have been like at least 100K payday. It took me days and days to figure out, and as anything, like when it first comes out, that's when all the hype and all the craziness is there, and then it just kind of dies down. But yeah, no, it was like day 2, day 3 that I actually caught on. I still made like a grand or so off it, but like, man, dropped the ball, fumbled hard. Always double check your work when you're doing tech stuff or anything marketing. Double check everything, because yeah, it could be bad. I could have had a really really good payday. Um, let's see. I built and sold computers when I was working for the company that I was talking about before, where it was the people that are doing Mida software. I did a lot of different little side hustles. Me and my friends used to build and sell computers all the time. I've had multiple drop shipping stores that I've done that would like advertise on Facebook, Google, and other various ways. Um, uh, I played poker for like 2, 3 years. I played poker for a living. I'd play I'd play like $5 sit and goes. Okay, if you know anything about poker, it's like basically a sit and go is like a tournament, but with just one table. And I would go ahead and pay like a $5 buy-in. If you're paying against like 9 people or whatever, 10 people. Like I think it was like first place was like $35 or something like that. Second would be like 15, and third would be like 5 or whatever, which essentially you just your money back. And then other people, of course, get nothing. But I was good. I'd run 4 tables at a time. I took my notes on players and how they played and whatnot. Um, and I'd clean up pretty good. Like out of if I was to play 4 games, I would probably get first, take first in 2, and then the other 2 I'd probably go ahead and get second or third, or maybe I'd go ahead and place in one and then not in the other. But like I always like I'd play four games at a time consistently, and I'd win at least 2. You know what I mean? At like pretty much all the time. There's been times I won all 4. You know what I mean? But I did that for a while. That's why I did that for a living for a while. It was kind of fun. I read so many books on poker. Like I probably read more books on poker than anything else I've read. Um, which I generally don't read a whole bunch unless it's like tech manuals and junk. But so yeah, I played poker for a long time. And then I got into the vape industry. Um, so mind you, this is like all prior to really doing crypto, except for what I was mentioning before for buying things. But so I got in the vape industry, and I had a friend that hit me up, one of my marketing friends, and like essentially what we do, like how I worked on things, is we did affiliate marketing and we worked on like trends. We did whatever's popping, what's the trend right now. And he hit me up and he's like, hey bro, he's like, check this out. He's like, this is gonna be like a huge thing, like check out these e-cigs. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, mind you, a smoker at the time with asthma because I've had health conditions and junk all my life, which I don't anymore. I've actually cured that. That's a whole different something. It's not really holistic or anything. It has everything to do with your mind and just willpower and shaping your future. Like we can get into meditation and manifestation and all that stuff some other time. But so uh, so I got into the vape industry because one of my friends hit me up and he's like, dude, he's like, yeah, check this out. It's gonna be big. And I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna check this out. So I got into it, and just how I'm good with dealing with people and dealing with companies. So like, I just call the companies up and listen. I'm like, I've been doing reviews forever. Like, I did reviews for a long time for a company called Sky Mall. They when you used to fly, they had like this little order book thing that would sit in the back of the seat that you can go and read because there wasn't like TVs in the back of your airline seats and shit like back then. So there's this company called Sky Mall, and they would sell all kinds of stuff. And like I was one of their reviewers, so they would send me like $500 watch, $300 pair of shoes. Like I would literally go ahead. Oh shit, which reminds me, I didn't even tell you all about Max OC. I don't think. Anyways, remind me about all of they would go ahead and send me stuff, whatever I wanted, like whatever I said I wanted next to go ahead and send, they'd send it to me. So I go ahead and do those reviews, and essentially I got paid with what they sent me. So I would just turn around and sell what they sent me. Um, I'm gonna double back real quick and come back to this vape thing because another thing I did is, um, man, I can't remember his name. He's a kid from New York that had money. Essentially, is why I partnered up with him. If you ever heard of OC addiction, overclockers addiction. So essentially, it's computer people that like overclock their computers, do custom builds, water cooling, blah blah blah. Both of us were reviewers for OC addiction at the time, and like we weren't getting stuff like we weren't getting like the big fun stuff. Like they weren't sending us like the video cards and like the expensive stuff. So me and him started a company called Max OC, and we started doing that as a business. Yeah, another story that ties to that too is the Russian mafia. Um, anyway, so we start Max OC, and we start out small. Like any kind of company you get into that, like when you do deal stuff and you contact them. If I'm gonna like hit up like Cool Max or something, they're not gonna like send me their biggest baddest thing. They're gonna go ahead and send me like a $5 fan. You know what I mean? They're gonna send you small stuff, maybe decorative shit for your computer. Nothing that's like they're not sending. You're not gonna get video cards and motherboards and stuff right out the gate. So we built things up, and we got to the point where like I was getting so much computer stuff for free. Like it was hard to keep up with all the reviews. Um, if I didn't agree to review something, sometimes I just didn't review it because like you sent me something, I didn't ask for it. I didn't say I would review it. You sent me a present. That's my was my outlook at it because I just had so much stuff. Um, I had like case fans that like literally were strong enough to like blow themselves up off the desk. Like my house was so noisy because I'd have my review computer like that would be running, and then my personal gaming computer that I'd be working on, and both of them just overclocked right out. At one time, I had the air conditioning unit, which was right above my computer, and I would run the air conditioner winter and summer because essentially I had a duct that came down and basically forced AC right into my computer case. Like I ran my air conditioner to cool my PC because I had so much, shit overclock. But anyway, yeah, did the overclocking thing. Um, was a fun little gig. But I got in vape industry. Back to that now. Just jumping all over the place. Take notes. So I got in the vape industry, started doing reviews, was doing really good. Started my own company. Actually, at the time, I had the second biggest e-cig forum on the internet. And that's kind of how I started selling things because I got into it and I'm like, okay, like anything I get into, like I'm gonna rip it apart. I'm gonna find out what makes it tick, like what it is, etc. So me ripping things apart and doing things, I'm like, I can make this liquid that goes in there. Like we don't need to go ahead and have like only these two flavors this company sells. Like I can make my own. So I got into making e-liquid, and I was the second person in the United States to make e-liquid. The first was Dawn from DIY Vape Shack in Las Vegas. She was the first one to make e-liquid in the United States. I was the second. Um, Mind you, when I did this, like, this was my first big business. Like, this was like I did a lot of stuff that like paid the bills. You might make 50K, 100K a year. Like, it did all right. It made some money, but like it wasn't life changing. You know what I mean? It wasn't that big money. Um, where essentially when I did the vape shop and I was doing the reviews, like I was banking stupid money off reviews because I did like what I was telling you, and I was pulling in close to 100K a month just off reviews for a while. And then I was selling my liquid on the forum, and then I turned around and got a site. Credit card processing was just freaking nightmares for like any kind of financial logistics for that. Um, but I basically started a shop. For the first while, I just did shipping out stuff. Like I didn't have people, like you weren't allowed to come in my shop. It was a storefront, but like it was always closed. You know what I mean? So I just had people there mixing liquid and sending it to people. Then it kind of opened up shop for everybody, people to come in and whatnot. I did all this from like 2009, I think the whole e-cig thing started, and did good for a long time. I was new to having money. Like I was living in low income housing at the time when this all started, and we would I think we like one week we bought a brand new Jeep, and then we bought like big screen TVs, and then we got another car, and it was like, oh my god, we need to get the hell out of here. Like we can't be in low income housing anymore. Like they're gonna kick us out or not. You know what I mean? So the place I'm currently living in now, actually, we started looking, and it was like when you're manifesting and you're like trying to go ahead and bring these things in your life, like it likes momentum. You know what I mean? Like once you get momentum going, it just likes momentum. So like we moved out of there within like a week after deciding that. Like we got this place, and we actually, it was a friend's, like an old friend that owned it, and it was like yeah, we want it, this and that. Here's 30,000 or whatever the down payment was, like just here's cash. And we were moved in within like a week. We were over there, moved in. Then like literally 2 3 months after that, we bought a big house out in the country, with like 40 acres and Victorian ceilings and fucking like a really nice place. But so yeah, that's part of like like I was saying before, as far as losing everything and whatnot. Like I don't got the house no more. I tried to get it back, but when I left my ex, she wanted to keep it. I'm pretty sure it was just because she didn't want me to have it, type of thing. But the bank took it back, so I got this place, paid free clear, so that's decent. Um, Very fortunate for that. Very thankful. Let's see here. Yeah, so around COVID times kind of killed my business, killed my vape business, and it's kind of got me into crypto. So I had like zero complaints. At least got me into crypto full time. I was running my business during COVID, but like I got to make money because people are still charging me rent. I still got electric bills to pay, stuff like that. But weren't supposed to be open, here where I live. That's the rules. You're not supposed to be open unless you're an essential business. But yet at the same time, a tobacco store was an essential business, but I wasn't. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this kind of bullshit. It's not fair. And I would go in, I'd sneak in, I'd park where I needed to in the alley or something, and I'd sneak in, and we'd bust out orders and drop them off at the post office, like in the little drop bin thing. And we had to do what we need to do. Well, there's a guy at this one gas station. He knows he doesn't got no life, and he would see people outside because people pull up on their car. Pull up in their car. They won't come into the store, but they pull up in their car, and we'd like run out stuff. get some money real quick, boom, go back in. Well, he narked us out like 2 or 3 times in the city, like, if you do this anymore, we're gonna like take away your business license and blah blah blah. So I was like, well, shit, I guess it's kind of screwed. So we tried to keep it open for a couple months, while all this stuff was going on, all this lockdown and junk. And it just got to the point where our costs, not only because our customers were leaving us because we can't be reliable and get our products out, but also because we're paying money. Even the customers that did order from us, we couldn't do anything really because we can't operate. Like, you weren't even supposed to drive, like, unless you had a written note, like, saying you're supposed to be on the road, or you weren't even supposed to be on the road. You know what I mean? Like, I just kind of threw all their bullshit out the window and did what I wanted. Just kind of normal for me. But not suggested by any means. Don't do that. But so that basically killed the business. It got to the point where, yeah, it was just hemorrhaging money. You know what I mean? It was just hemorrhaging money out. Like, it's, we got winters and stuff. Like, heat costs money. Like, electric costs money. Water costs money. Rent costs money. And, when you're forking out $3,000 a month and you're bringing in nothing, like, it's just, it quickly gets to that point where it's like, it's just not worth it anymore. You know what I mean? After a couple months of that, it's just, like, not worth it no more. Especially when there's no end in sight. But yeah, no, so pretty much, like, I've done a lot of successful things. I've made money and had fun and have done cool stuff because of that. I'll go ahead and actually fit in one more story real quick, just because I don't know where else it's going to fit in all this. When I was doing the vape thing, one of the companies I was working for, Green Smoke, I was doing really well with them. I was making like 30,000, 50,000 a month just off them. And the owner came up to visit me. Like, oh, I was getting like crazy. Like, they'd send me Christmas presents, like $1,000 and a golden money clip and stuff. Like, I was getting all kinds of crazy shit from these people. But they came up and we visited and we hung out and stuff, wanted to meet me. And then he gets back and he's like, hey, you like NASCAR? I'm like, not really, bro. He's like, oh, I was going to ask if you want to go. I'm like, okay, well, thank you anyway. Like, whatever. And the wife is like, well, why aren't you, like, yeah, no, let's go. Like, why don't you want to go ahead and, like, do this? And I'm like, I really don't give a shit about NASCAR. And she's like, well, get him. Like, call him back. See if you can get the tickets. So I was like, whatever. So I went and called him back. I'm like, hey. I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and take him. So he goes and he tells us, where the thing was. It's like on Father's Day or something like that, and downstate. So we go down. We go to the little trailer thing there, and we got hot passes. So, like, if you don't know, when you go to NASCAR, there's like cold passes and hot passes. There's your normal seats, which is like, around the thing. You got your cold passes, which is outside of the pits, where all the cars are, getting their tires changed and stuff like that. And then there's hot passes, which are like inside the pits. Like, we sat with GoDaddy. Like, we sat with the GoDaddy race team, which was also who, like, was owning the cars that our sponsor was doing. So, like, we hung out with them. Like, it was weird because I was never really a big NASCAR person. And I felt really bad because there were so many other people that, like, really wanted to do this. Like, have told me, like, oh my God, that's my life dream. And I just feel like I didn't, like, appreciate it very much because it just wasn't something I was into. But, like, we'd like be walking around and people would be like at the cage thing, that have cold passes, like asking for autographs and stuff. And it's like, I'm just a normal person, dude. Like, I'm just here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a driver or nothing. So, like, yeah, no, that's one of the cool things I did. Like, even though I didn't really appreciate it as much as others would. Yeah, I went and was down the trenches of NASCAR for, a day. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it for all this type of stuff. I'm probably gonna have to, like, censor some words or something. I don't know how YouTube's gonna be about any of this. It kind of sucked being like, oh, I don't got a video 3. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I'll figure all this stuff out. As usual, none of this financial advice. Don't do anything I do, like, anything that's bad by any means, at least. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and drop a comment. Tell me, for all you that's making it through these videos like this, tell me what you've done to make money. Tell me some of your unconventional ways that you made money. Tell me some of the things you've done that worked out good. As long as no one's going to be able to take it on you and, like, screw up your source of income right now. But go ahead and drop it down there. Let's start a combo. Other than that, I think that's about it for this video. 3 down one day. Deuces, crypto fam. See you on the next one.